Sometimes you're not going to be at your best. Sometimes you miss the mark a little bit. Sometimes you have an abortion of a performance that you wish you could throw into the fucking dustbin, the dumpster fire of history and never have to circle back to. And then you have my performance at picking games last week. Good God almighty, what the hell was wrong with me? That was terrible! Horrible! I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. You're ashamed of me. You're embarrassed. And you know what? You should be embarrassed. That's pathetic. Literally could have probably flipped a goddamn coin and had a much better performance than I had last week. Holy shit. And it's one thing sometimes, squirrely shit happens with the spread. And the reality is when it comes to picking that on any given week in any given game, there could be a lot that goes on. I even point to the Thursday night game where you had the Colts and the Jets. Obviously the game is clearly out of reach. The Colts are favored by 10. But the Jets are deep in the Colts territory late in the game with a chance to score a touchdown and cover the damn spread. Do the old traditional backdoor cover. Now, I picked the Colts to win and the Jets to cover the 10. If the Jets score there, which they should have, then I look like a genius. But they didn't. Josh Johnson interception. I look like an idiot. It's the way shit goes sometimes. These spreads are designed for a reason, and all these years in history of Vegas and some of the control you have to imagine they still exert on the game, close for a reason in a lot of ways. And last week was just abysmal. 5-10 picking against the spread. That's one of the worst performances I can remember me ever having in a given week. And even picking the winner straight up, that was abysmal too, 7-8. Yeah, it was rough. Woof. So for season to date, I'm 77-45, pick a winner straight up, and 70-52 against the spread. Now, last week hurt. Almost halfway through the season now, and yeah, I'm quite a bit above 500, but is that the standard? No, I'd rather be getting 3/4 to 80% of the games right, not be hovering around 60 to 65%. That sucks. Expected demand better. So I'm hoping that this week will be better. It didn't get off to the best start on Thursday night. Obviously, the Colts won in comfortable fashion, and I picked the Colts to win. But, as far as the 10-point spread, I thought the Jets were going to damn cover. Because maybe if nothing else, there was going to be some type of backdoor cover. But then also, looking at the way Mike White had played the week before, you think, okay, maybe they'll play some decent offense. But then, of course, Mike White goes down with the injury. Again, the type of shit that if you don't know the deeper story, I look like an idiot. But the reality is there were other mitigating circumstances. It's not an excuse. It just is what it is. But it is an explanation sometimes. So, yeah, already in a bit of a hole. So I got to dig myself out with the rest of the week's picks. So let's go ahead and get at it. My Week 9 2021 NFL picks. Going to go to the early games on Sunday. You got the Browns, who just released Odell Beckham Jr., traveling to Cincinnati to take on their divisional rival, the Fighting Paul Browns, meaning the Cincinnati Bengals. I got to like Cincinnati minus the 2.5 here, don't I? Don't I? You have to assume what happened last week against the Jets was a trap game. You got that Jets game right in between the Ravens game and the Browns game. So I'd have to assume the Bengals are going to be more ready to play here. And I think, frankly, the Browns are a bit of a mess. Give me Cincinnati minus the 2.5. You've got Denver traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Assuming Dak's back in the fold, this number, even though it's minus 10, doesn't look that bad. The Broncos are boo-boo. They just are. The Cowboys have an offense that can hurt you in a variety of different ways. I'll stick with the spread. I'll go with Dallas minus the 10. In a toilet bowl matchup, that's for damn sure. You got the Houston Texans traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Golly, both of these teams are terrible. And somehow, yet and still, Miami is a 5.5-point favorite for reasons that I don't fucking know why. Yes, the Houston Texans are terrible, and they've played some terrible football lately. But so have the Miami Dolphins. They've had some close losses, and they've had some blowout losses. They've looked like shit. I agree Miami might be the slightly better team here, and I'll take them, but I don't think it's crazy to think that this could be a close one and Houston covers a damn spread. Because that's just how bad both of these teams have been playing this year. You've got the Falcons traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints are 6-point favorites as it stands right now. And it looks like it's going to be Trevor Siemian, not Taysom Hill, as a starter, replacing the injured and out for the season Jameis Winston. For Atlanta, you know, there's some concerns here about what's that offense going to look like without Calvin Ridley. You saw a little bit of it last week, and the returns weren't promising. But I look at both offenses right now, and I'm really not sure what to go for, what to get. These divisional matchups, and in this case, you got two dome teams, so they're very comfortable playing in the domes. Both teams built to play in domes. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. You know, important game for New Orleans, absolutely must win for Atlanta if they have any delusions of trying to get themselves into the back door of that wild card race in the NFC. New Orleans is favored by 6. I'll pick Atlanta plus the 6. Got to go a little crazy here this week. I certainly think it's reasonable they could cover the spread because, you know, while the Saints played well under Simeon last week against the Buccaneers, like they've recently owned the Buccaneers, it's a different opponent, different week. Who knows what can happen, especially when you have a whole week of film to prepare for them. You got the Raiders traveling to the Giants. I'll take the Raiders minus the 3. You've got New England traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Patriots apparently getting a little love from Vegas, 3.5-point favorites. I'll take the Panthers plus the 3.5. Because why? I'm just going to be different this week. I'm going to try some different shit here. Because whatever I did last week did not fucking work. You got Buffalo traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jags. Yeah, I'm going to smash Buffalo minus the 14.5. You have to at this point. Because the Jaguars are pretty fucking bad. And then the last of the early Sunday games, you got Minnesota traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I like Baltimore to win here, but I do like Minnesota to cover the 6-point spread. You know, Minnesota's the epitome of mediocre, but they also could find a way to keep games like this close. You're not necessarily picking them to win, but they can certainly keep games like this close. Transitioning over to the late Sunday games, the late afternoon games, you've got the Chargers traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Give me the Chargers minus 1.5 all freaking day long. What was going to be, potentially a true marquee matchup, one more time, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, is the State Farm Bowl. Well, of course, Aaron Rodgers decides, I'm immunized. Immunized from what? Measles? Smallpox? Polio, asshole? Certainly wasn't COVID, because so he's out of the fucking lineup. And instead it's going to be Jordan Love, his first career NFL start. And that does add an intriguing yet interesting different subplot to this matchup. And even with the change from Rodgers to Jordan Love, I cannot believe for the life of me why the Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites. That is putting way too much money on the damn Chiefs right now. Do you not just watch them struggle like hell to beat fucking Danny Dimes and the Giants on Monday night? 6 days later, they're going to be that much better? When the overall quality of the opponent that they're facing is much better, even without Aaron Rodgers? Holy Christ. Now, I think Kansas City wins the game. Let's not sell Jordan Love too short here. Let's not sell the Packers too short here. I'm certainly going to pick them to cover the 7.5-point spread. And then the other late Sunday afternoon game, got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. I mean, granted, the 49ers just scored 33 points last week, but that was against the Bears. The Bears suck, and their defense is overrated as shit. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, yes, they're just coming off of a loss, and they may have an injury or two, but they're still a one-loss team coming off of their first loss, and they still had a chance to win that game. Yeah, I'm going to take Arizona plus the 2.5 here. That fucking number's insane. Sunday night, you got the Tennessee Titans now without Derrick Henry traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. It'd be an entirely different story, obviously. If Derrick Henry was there, you're probably looking at the Rams being more like 3 to 3.5, maybe 4-point favorites at most. Now it's 7.5. Could be growing between now and Sunday. But in this case, yeah, I'll take the Rams minus the 7.5. I'm not sure how this Titans offense is going to do against a defense like the Rams with the loss of Derrick Henry, because that Derrick Henry loss is sizable, it's significant, whereas most other teams are looking for, like, the franchise quarterback. Got to have the franchise quarterback. The franchise quarterback is key and most important. Like to the Titans, Derrick Henry's their most important piece. They build everything they do on the offensive side around him. So a loss of him is not just like a loss of any other running back for most other teams. And then you get to the Monday Night Mayhem. Who's the maniac that booked this shit? It's the old DX Rock thing from WWF times, Attitude Era times. Who's booking this crap? The Chicago Bears travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Oh, Christ almighty. My sympathies and empathies to all of you across this country that are going to take that bold, courageous stand to actually try to sit down and watch 3 hours, all 3 hours of this game on Monday night. I don't know why you would do it to yourself. You have so many other things you can fucking do. why would you want to watch this? But a lot of you are addicted to football. We're addicts. And we're going to watch it anyways because we're morons. Oh, yes, you're a moron too. If you actually choose to watch this game on Monday night, you are a moron. Bears fans, Steelers fans, morons. Especially fans of other teams that aren't the Steelers or Bears. Why the fuck would you watch this? You're going to see 3+ hours in prime time of noontime naggy Bears football and a washed up Big Ben rapeless burger. And that's what you want to watch on a Monday night? Don't you have better things to do? This shit's almost so bad it'd make you want to go watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw on the USA Network. No, nothing's that fucking bad. But it's bad. It is almost Monday Night Raw bad. Holy hell. I'll take the Steelers minus the 6.5. Although this is exactly the type of spot where the Steelers play like crap at home against these bad teams. The Bears are a bad team. The Pittsburgh Steelers could be caught off guard. We've seen it happen over the years. Nothing different here. It could happen. I'm just not buying it this time because the Bears are getting smoked in recent games. Their last 3 games, they've lost by double digits. Giving up 95 points combined in those last 3 games. Their offense absolutely sucks. So, I mean, come on now. But those are my picks for Week 9. Good Lord Almighty, they have to be better than what they were in Week 8. They have to be. If not, we're going to have to exorcise some demons or something like that.